Every single offseason, every single free agency, there's always some winners and losers that get declared after that period of time. And it seems like one of the winners, especially toward the early part of free agency, one of the teams that make the most headlines, one of the teams that make the most outstanding moves, ends up being the Cleveland Browns. We saw it last year with the plethora of moves that they made, bringing in Odell Beckham Jr. They had Morgan Burnett. They had Olivier Vernon. They gave away Jabril Peppers, but they brought in Sheldon Richardson and then eventually Kareem Hunt. That was more toward the season, though. But they made so many moves, a lot of people, including myself, felt like they won the offseason. And I thought last year that all of that was going to transfer into the regular season too, but it didn't. And of course, you can blame that on quite a few different things, depending on how you look at it. But I think one thing that most Browns fans would agree, that coaching definitely wasn't the best. So now we're in this offseason. And the Browns, some people may pick them as winners of this offseason because they have been making some big moves. Most notable moves, of course, was Austin Hooper. And they've made their fair share of other moves as well. But one move that... Shout out to my guys, Terry, and my guy, Dog Pound Coverage, man. Those are my guys, man. They Browns fans, but those are my guys. I got so much love for both of them. Me and them both go back and forth. We talk trash to each other, but it's all love, man. And they know that. They know that it's all love, man. And that won't ever change. Whether the Browns beat the Ravens or the Ravens beat the Browns during the season or whatever happens during the offseason, it's all love. Straight up. So shout out to those two guys, man. And they were the ones that actually put me on because I hadn't heard about it. Because I actually, just me and my wife and Carter, we just finished taking a walk outside. He was riding his bike because we would usually do that every day. So today, Saturday, there's a lot more people outside riding their bikes and stuff. It's just nice. It was nice, man. I got behind somebody. We were walking on this little trail, and it was behind somebody's backyard, and they were cooking burgers. I said, ooh, woo, oh, it smells so good. But anyway, let's get back on track, man. I love y'all so much, man. I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate that we don't just have to talk about football on here. We can share personal stuff too. We can share just stuff that's going on, period. That's why I love Team Keep It Clean, man. So shout out to y'all. But those two put me on to this story about Jadeveon Clowney and the Browns not only being interested in Jadeveon Clowney, but the Browns being close to had signed him to a deal. But then at the end of apparently it fell through. And this was actually reported by Jeremy Fowler on ESPN. And I was like, oh, okay now. And then I was telling my guy, Dog Pound Coverage, I said, man, Garrett and Clowney, Myles Garrett, he would be coming back and Clowney would be coming in. I said, yikes. That's something serious, man. That would be something serious. Now, again, just because you have the pieces to the puzzle, it doesn't mean you know how to put that puzzle together, as we saw last year. Now, hopefully for the Browns' sake, they can do much better this year, but we'll see. And I want Browns fans to keep in mind, you know, me being a Ravens fan, I hope so, but at the same time, I hope not. Because even though I'm a Ravens fan, I love when the division is competitive. I love that. Because it just makes everything that much better, makes every game count that much more. It just makes the season that much spicier when the division is competitive. But for the Browns' sake, they have to be patient. Not just the fans, but the front office. You cannot keep having turnover. Turnover is not going to solve anything. Consistency is huge. It's huge. And if you don't have consistency, if you don't have a good foundation, it's going to be the same results every time. So with the Browns, like I said, just because you have the correct pieces to the puzzle doesn't mean you can put that puzzle together. So with this new head coach, Stefanski, being in his first year, with this new GM, Barry, being in his first year, young guy too. He said he said he got a newfound appreciation for teachers and stuff. He said that he's had to be the PE coach for his kids and whatnot. I saw that little article. I read about it. Okay, I said, man, this dude, what? He's 32. Oh, that's so crazy, man. He's so young. But anyway, You have to give it time. If the Browns don't make the play, it was funny though. My guy Dog Pound coverage, he did tell me. He said, man, just imagine that. Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. And he said if the Browns don't make the playoffs this year, he said, we're probably cursed. Now, I was just laughing, man. When I read that, I was laughing. So shout out to my guy, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow Dog Pound coverage on Instagram. But with this, it's like, ooh. But yeah, like I said, you got to be patient. You got to be patient because everything doesn't always click right away. So, and if everything doesn't click right away, even if there's progress made, if you just blow everything up after 1 year, after one season, it's going to be the same thing over again. So we're going to see what happens, if anything happens with the Browns and Jadeveon Clowney. Because Browns is like a sleeper team for him. They're a sleeper team. I wonder, like, if it just all depends on what Jadeveon Clowney is about right here, right now. Because he could easily look at the roster and be like, wow, this is a pretty good roster. But then he got to look at the coaching and what the Browns have been. And there's a lot of unknown right now. Because it's, especially with everything going on, everything is so limited. The players are limited. The coaching staff is limited. Everything has got to be so digital. So we'll see. Hopefully this thing will be a thing of the past soon enough. But we just got to wait and see till we get there. But with Jadeveon Clowney, he may look at them and be like, man, the roster is nice. But the recent success isn't. And it all just depends on what teams are interested in him. Apparently the Seahawks are still interested in him. There was that story about the Dolphins. He said that somebody was lying. But we don't know, man. And apparently it's been put out there that his asking price has come down to like 17, 18 mil. I personally just think that that's business. I just think it's business. I think it's people putting it out there. Like, hey, you know what? Let's put it out there that you want this much so that can attract more teams. Because it's a lower price, but they may not be able to afford this much, but they can give you this much. I think it's just a little business tactic. These stories that keep getting put out. So, we'll see how everything goes, man. But Jadeveon Clowney with the Browns, they got the money for it. But I wonder exactly why it fell apart. I wonder why it fell apart. Because if they were close to signing him, then they made some significant progress. Was it something on the Browns side? Was it something on Jadeveon Clowney's side? Either way, as a Ravens fan, I'm not mad at all that the deal fell apart. But apparently the Browns, they are still keeping tabs on him. They did sign an Adrian Claiborne a couple days ago now. They did sign Adrian Claiborne, formerly of he played for the Falcons. He played for the Patriots. He played for somebody else too, I believe. But I cannot think of who. But I know Falcons for sure and Patriots. Because he was with the Patriots for like 1 year, I think. But I think they may have ended up signing him as sort of a backup plan. Like, okay, we'll sign Adrian Claiborne for now. Veteran pass rusher, been around the game for a while. He can come in and help out. But we still watching Jadeveon. That's what I think they're doing, man. But I think they just wanted to go into the draft with one less hole and having a veteran there. And I think it's still, and I was talking to my guy Terry about it too. Because I was like, man, don't y'all still have Olivier Vernon? Because I believe he told me that if they cut Olivier Vernon, then that's some big cap relief right there. That's some huge cap relief. So Browns would get even more money. So we'll see what happens with that. So a lot of stuff is to be determined. So Jadeveon Clowney, he is really holding up that market. He is holding up the market right now. Dudes like Everson Griffin, Matt Judon, Marcus Golden, Clay Matthews, they just sitting back like, man, Jadeveon, can you please sign so we can get our jobs too? You holding us up. Because everything seems to be revolving around JC. Everything. It's like the pass rushers in free agency and some that are tagged, it's like they can't move forward until Jadeveon Clowney is set. A lot is contingent on him. And I think maybe some on Yannick Ngakoue as well. Because everybody knows the Jaguars, they're not going to keep Yannick Ngakoue. and they're asking for some first-round picks, or they starting at a first-round pick, but, business. Pitch high, watch them buy. Pitch low, watch them go. If you start at a first-round pick, people will be like, okay, well, I'm not going to give you a first, but I can give you a second. How about that? But if you start low, and if you really want something higher, but you start low, okay, we'll take a third for Yannick. Oh, a third for Yannick. If they're going to take a third, we can offer him a fourth, because they're not really going to get a third. And then you'll get even less than you originally wanted. So, Yannick Ngakoue, that situation, and Jadeveon Clowney situation, those two guys are holding up the market. And neither of the two situations are easy situations to just get done and move on. No, they're very complicated. Both are very complicated. I think Yannick's a little more complicated than Jadeveon, because Yannick would have to agree to the team to be traded to, and he would have to sign the tag. And the Jags would have to trade him too. And they would have to find a team willing to take on Yannick Ngakoue. So his situation was a lot more complicated than Jadeveon Clowney's. So maybe the two are just waiting on each other. Who knows? But anyway, team keep it clean. This situation is very interesting, to say the least. So, but anyway, seriously, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for 25,000 subscribers. It seriously does mean a lot. And again, it's not I keep it clean. It's team keep it clean. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you for being so positive. Thank you again for showing just crazy, insane support. I appreciate it seriously, man. So thank you all. Appreciate you all. And like Jadeveon Clowney told the Browns right before he put his name on that contract, I'm out.